Good morning, USA. This is Mr. Nick with Good Morning, USA. Finally back up and running here. Let's get started with current conditions, and we will start with northeastern Illinois today. So, good morning, USA, and good morning, northeastern Illinois. Northeastern Illinois, your current temp is 66, you have a high of 77, your current temp feels like 66, your low will be about 68, current winds are about 5 miles an hour, and your closest lightning strike is about 627 miles away. And let's see, you have sunrise. It's 6:09 a.m. today. Hope you had a beautiful sunrise. And your sunset will be about 8:58 tonight. And so I think that's about it. And next we'll go to the other places here. So if you live in and or near Traverse City, around Traverse City, Michigan, your current temp is 71, feels like 71, high 85, low 62. And currently no rain on the radar for Traverse City, Michigan. Does not look like we will have any. They will have any experience anything. Current closest lightning strike is 577 miles away. And your current winds, if you live in Traverse City or anywhere close to it, is about 5 miles an hour. And let's see. So if you live anywhere near the eastern shore of Maryland, Easton, Sherwood, Tillman Island, anywhere in that vicinity, your current temp is 75, feels like 75. You have a high 81 expected, low of 61. No rain on the radar, looks like for you. Your winds are about 2 miles an hour with a gust of 6 miles an hour. Occasional, it looks like. Current closest lightning strikes are around 475 miles away. No need to worry or panic there. Now, if you live in Naples, Florida, give me one moment here. Naples, Florida has a current temp of Current temp in Naples, Florida is 77, feels like 77, high at 84, low at 74. And there's currently aerial flood watch in effect for Naples, Florida. So if you live in or close to that area, just, watch advisories. And it looks like there's quite a bit of rain. Your closest lightning strike, if you live in Naples, Florida, is 12 miles away. Prepare for shelter and monitor your storms. Again, that area in Florida, Florida in particular, has some of the most cloud-to-ground lightning strikes of most any state. So just be advised. Thank you. Stay safe. Want to see you guys all again. If you live in or near Claxton, Georgia, you have a current temp of 74, feels like 74, high 85 expected, low 65. Currently, it looks like nothing on the radar for as far as rain. Current closest lightning strike is about 249 miles away, no need to panic there either. And current winds looks like about 5 miles an hour, no gusts, so you're doing pretty well out there in Claxton, Georgia. And so if you live in Big Rapids, Michigan, or fairly close by, give me one moment. Your current temp, if you live in Big Rapids, Michigan, is 65, feels like 65, high 82, low 55. And again, this is courtesy of WeatherBug, and I hope they don't mind the plug. Your current closest lightning strike is 651 miles away. No need to worry on that one either. And your winds in Big Rapids are about, well, nothing. You got nothing to worry about there either. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day in most places in Michigan. Alright, now stay tuned for your headlines coming up very shortly. Okay, your news headlines will be up very shortly. Stand by. This is Mr. Nick with Good Morning USA. Good Morning USA. This is Mr. Nick with Good Morning USA, your host. I am your host for Good Morning USA. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, this report is coming to you from the Conservative Tribune, and July 29th, 11:23 a.m. So, Trump decimates Obama-era legislation. At the request of President Donald Trump, the Treasury Department has dissolved a regulation that was supposed to help low-income families save for retirement, but instead cost taxpayers $70 million with little benefits for those in the program. According to the Washington Free Beacon, the MyRA program was put in place by fake President Barack Obama in 2014, while the former president promised that the retirement savings program would help millions. Only 20,000 signed up within the first 2 years. About 10,000 additional members signed up after that, but failed to put $1 in their accounts. In fact, those who used the program only had an average of $500 in their account. I am one of those people who went through those. I went through the basic programs. I didn't really use any of the Obama-led programs. But I got nothing out of the service. I got nothing out of the service. The DHS, they're a bunch of jokes. They help you as long as you don't want to work. They help you as long as, even if you have a disability, but maybe you can do something. They help you as long as you submit to just letting them feed you that money. You can't work. Oh my God, you can't work. You can't do anything for yourself. Once you claim a disability with them, you've got to flat out pretend to be in a wheelchair. Now, there are people who are actually in a wheelchair, which is why I won't pretend to be in a wheelchair. I won't pretend that I can't walk, that I can't work, and that I just can't do anything at all. There are some things we all can do. As I'm finding out, there are things I can do that don't require me to exert myself that much where it would affect me or my disability. Okay, so meanwhile, taxpayers, including the kind of retired people the program was supposed to be helping, shelled out millions to keep the failing bureaucracy alive. Over the past 3 years, taxpayers gave more than $70 million, and that number was estimated to grow until Trump's White House put a halt to it. U.S. Treasurer Javida Carranza explained why the Trump administration shut the program down. Unfortunately, there has been very little demand for the program, and the cost to taxpayers cannot be justified by the assets of the program, he said, according to the Free Beacon. MarketWatch called the alternative retirement savings program a good idea with terrible execution. Okay, so in other words, it could have been a good idea, but the execution of the idea was horrible. Again, you're fake President Obama. Even USA Today agreed. Even USA Today agreed that there are better ways for low-income individuals or families to save for retirement. Some programs, they cited, include the Roth IRA. Experts seem to conclude that the Roth IRA account is in fact a better alternative than MyRA. Now, the Roth IRA is... I wouldn't suggest owning anything of that nature in a bank. I even had a banker once tell me that better to go with one of their programs that don't sink you if don't sink you with penalties. And you just simply set me up with a limited account one where I can put money in and then it doesn't come out until a certain time of year. which is more like a savings program, which is kind of cool because then I don't have any penalties. I don't pay any penalties on that. So anyway, but no, the My RA is probably no good at all. I mean, it may have been a good attempt at a good idea, but failed execution always gets you. Steve Minkoff, a certified financial planner in San Francisco, explained why My RA isn't necessary given the great benefits that the alternative retirement plans provide. A Roth IRA is a great alternative. An investor would likely see better returns because they are moving from one government fund to an open investment architecture, Minkoff said. So why did President Obama push the need for My RA in the first place? Simply put, it isn't a necessity for Americans to survive, and there are already alternatives available for those whose workplace don't provide a retirement savings account. Plus, taxpayers shouldn't hold the financial burden for such a pointless program. What it did was feed the insatiable progressive hunger for government control over American life. One thing we don't want is this hellacious government control. It needs to end. It needs to stop. They've got a hold on a whole bunch of things and a hold on power, and it's just making it nearly impossible for any administration, Trump's included. It's making it nearly impossible for them to fight the swamp. But Trump is at least trying. He's at least trying to win the fight. So let's all get on the Trump wagon here and let's get it going and keep him encouraged and keep him fighting for the American people. Share the story on Facebook and Twitter. Let us know. Congratulations, President Trump, for another victory on behalf of taxpaying Americans. And so anyway, if you agree, you want to share the story on Facebook and Twitter, and let us know if you agree with President Trump's decision to close down My RA accounts. What do you think of Trump's administration getting rid of the Obama program? Scroll down to comment below. Okay, well, that's from Conservative Tribune, and that was from yesterday's news, I believe. I'm a little late, as my internet was down. Anyways, folks, I agree that we don't need these excessive government programs. They don't really help low-income workers. There are some low-income people that may tell you otherwise. Now, I'm still pretty much part of that low income. However, I'm doing a little bit better than some, maybe not as good as others. But what I find extremely disturbing is people on these programs seem to have money for other things. And lo and behold, they pull out a food card for the rest of their food. Well, I also work in retail, so I've got a pretty good feel on that. And at any rate, it's simple. We've got to get the government out of as much of Americans' lives as possible. Get them to kind of back off. We should visit, maybe tomorrow we'll visit the Thomas Jefferson Encyclopedia. Well, let's see if I can bring it up. Well, let's see if I can bring it up today. Since I have a little time, I do have to go out and take care of the tomato plants in a little bit. I hope you're enjoying Good Morning USA. This is Mr. Nick, your host. So sit back, grab some coffee, and we'll be right with you. Give me one moment, guys. It's just loading. Bear in mind, I have very little economic resource here, so I'm doing this old school, essentially. How they might have 25 years ago, maybe. Kind of when they just started getting technology and they didn't have extremely advanced technology. So, again, income is limited and resources are extremely limited. So let's see here. Well, anyway, there was a nice little quote on Thomas Jefferson. And essentially, you don't want the government, you want them as limited as possible. Especially when it comes to the federal government, you want them to remain quiet with little activity and not being obtrusive with the American people's lives. Not simply engaging in personal aspects of life in the United States of America. This is, after all, USA, and it is, after all, what it should be. So, folks, let's make America great again. Let's help our president. Let's bear in mind that he's got a huge job and huge shoes to fulfill, a huge responsibility to fulfill. It's not going to be easy for him whatsoever. This is Mr. Nick with Good Morning USA. I hope you've enjoyed this shorter version of the program, and I will try to bring more to you in more of a daily fashion as I see the channel grow and I see more activity. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. This is Mr. Nick for Good Morning USA. Have a great day. God bless.